Good morning, class. Welcome to your grammar lesson for today. It's Tuesday's grammar lesson, which means we're on sentence day 2. And I hope you've already had a chance to work on it already, and we'll just be taking it up together. So the first thing I want to start with is the note that we get at the top. It says, in your rewrite, combine the to sentence with a which clause, and remember to label which. Okay, so we're starting with that first sentence for now. So let's look at our sentence. It says, only make certain that you're ready, so we'll put that in a minute, to heed my call. The call will sound as 3 short blasts upon the bugle horn if I require your aid. Okay? So, here's where we're going to put the which. So you see how it says my call, the call? We're going to take that out. Okay? And instead, we're going to put a little comma here. And this is where we're going to put our which. Okay, so now the sentence reads, only make certain that you're ready to heed my call, which will sound as 3 short blasts upon the bugle horn if I require it. Okay, so that's the first thing that we need to deal with. It's our which. Okay, and now let's look at the second part of the note. It says, also, this ends Robin's speech. So you remember from the sentence yesterday. What punctuation should come after aid? So that's telling us that this whole couple of sentences, or one sentence, sorry, this whole sentence is Robin talking. So it ends here, Robin's speech, so we have to put quotation marks, okay? Which also means that when you're writing your rewrite, you're still just continuing on the sentence, okay, until the end of the quotation mark. All right. So now we're going to get into our corrections because I'm just itching to put this right there. So we've got our period now, and we're going to capitalize the beginning of our sentence. And then there's one more capital that we need. We have a sad little lowercase I here that needs to be capitalized. Okay? So now let's work on this blank. So the correct your is the one that means you are. So your, Y-O-U''R-E. Okay, that's going to be our your. So now let's find some clauses. So the first clause is actually really short because our verb is make, but we know that this is going to be another clause. So this is a clause all by itself, and it's actually our main clause. All right. So then we're going to start our dependent clause here, and it's going to end here because we know that which is another clause starter. And things are going to get squishy here. So that's a dependent clause, okay, with the clause starter that. And then the your is the subject, and ready is our verb, to heed my call. Okay, and with which starting it, that's my bracket. It's going to be another clause starter. And of course we label our who which that we've made. Okay, which will sound as 3 short blasts upon the bugle horn. Okay, and that's going to be the end of that clause. Because this is another thought. If I require aid, right? So it can't stand alone, but it's a new idea. So that is our third clause. Now we have 3 clauses. So we've got our subject and verb for this one. Okay. And the verbs here are will and sound. So will is a sneaky verb. And sound. All right. And it's 3 short blasts. And then the last clause, I is our subject. And require is our verb. Okay. Oh, and sorry. Which is actually our subject over here. So which has a lot going on. Okay. So, now that we have our subject and verbs and clauses, we're going to work on the other things. So first, our sentence opener, you'll notice, is an ly. So we're going to label it ly, and that means that we know it's a number 3. Sentence opener with the ly adverb. Okay? And now we have a few prepositions and a few adjectives. All right. So the first preposition is as. So we're going to label that as prep. To is not a preposition in this case. So if you labeled that, please erase that off because it's just ready to heed. So it's just part of the verb phrase. Okay, so that's our preposition. Our next preposition is upon. Okay, so we're gonna label that. And then, sorry, I'm just gonna check this clause starter label here. And then we have our two adjectives. So 3 short blasts. Okay, so the blast is our noun. And then we have adjective and adjective. Okay, and I want to point out to you that we're not putting a comma here. So remember how we learned about this, when to put a comma in? So these two adjectives are cumulative. Okay, because this is telling you a quantity. So we couldn't do short 3 blasts. It has to be 3 short blasts, so it doesn't get a comma. Okay? So I want you to just notice that. And that is all for us. So our word of the day is heed, and I'm going to write it up for you here, which means give great attention to. All right, so once you have your definition down and all of your corrections correct, you can do your rewrite. You're all set. So there you go.